What is going on, everyone, and welcome into another episode of Expected Bets for your go-to podcast for all things hockey betting. I am Gator Betting, joined by my two co-hosts today, Gretzky Betskis and Franco the Banker. Guys, how are we doing today? Another Monday.
First Monday of 2025, or wait, is it? No. Yes, it is. First Monday of 2025. There we go. So that's fun, isn't that?
Yeah. I was telling Franco before I went to the Bills-Pats game yesterday, and I'm hurting today. Don't have that dog in me like I used to anymore. So it hasn't necessarily been a fun Monday to bring in the new year. I'm hurting today. So that's where I stand. Hopefully you guys are doing a little bit better than I am.
Hope you took the day off.
Yeah, I struggled through it. You know what? Sometimes all the PTO from holidays and stuff, you don't get it. So got to grind today.
And then you just kind of stare at the email.
I've been like counting down the hours to go to bed tonight. I've been like, I'm like, oh, when is it socially acceptable to call it quits?
Well, the good thing is we're going to go through the entire week slate today, so this will probably be about a 4-hour episode.
Yeah, you'll see me sign off in about maybe an hour. You maybe got me for an hour, and that's about it.
It's the best we got.
To bring in some relief. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, to top it off too, the Buffalo Sabres play hockey tonight too. So I mean, what more could I ask for too? If I'm already in pain, let's
might as well just drink. Just start drinking now, dude.
That would be.
You might as well just that will make you. It'll come back faster, and then you're just gonna be.
It's the only way to get through the hangover and the inevitable loss.
Listen, it's not the worst idea that we proposed on this show. Yep, exactly. How high can
there's
I take
worse
the
advice you could
take on Washington? Yeah, that's pretty much it. All right. With that being said, let's get into this first game. Sabres taking on the Capitals in Buffalo tonight. Sabres are plus 130, total set at 6.5, plus 114 to the over. I don't have a play on the side. I guess I would lean Washington in this one. I don't know how you don't. But any plays for you guys on the side or total?
Probably Washington and Reg if I'm going to.
I don't hate that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when's the last time Sabres even got into overtime? I guess against the Avalanche and then over. But yeah, most of these games Sabres have lost by 2 or like 15 goals. So
I don't mind.
It'll usually be competitive.
The first period over is decent, I would say. Like Washington's been productive in the last couple of games. Even the Rangers scored against them that last game. So that might be the way to go. It's minus 145 now, so I'd probably wait live.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean,
there's no way in hell I'm taking the Sabres.
No, this is a prime spot too, where if the Sabres do score that first goal, you're looking for a live bet opportunity on the Caps too. We've seen this team blow so many third period leads and even second period, and the list goes on. But if the Sabres do strike first, I think you're going to get the Caps maybe around that minus 120, minus 110 region on the money line, maybe even better. So I would certainly hop on that if that's the case. Any props in this one? Russ likes OV shots.
Yeah,
riding it the rest of the year. Yeah, that's not a bad look at all, Ryan. Yeah, I don't think so, Ryan. I'm probably gonna stay off the Monday night cocktails, but feel free to enjoy yourselves. So, Franco, I know you had a play. Did you post it yet, or no?
Yeah, I just posted it right before we hopped in here. So I'm gonna ride with my old friend here, PLD.
Oh man,
yeah, man. I mean, at this point, I can't even hate on him at this point, right? He's points in 3 straight, points in 8 of his last 9 overall. No real home road split, pretty much solid either way. 70% his last 10 away. And 70% his last 10 at home. 6-game streak at home. I know they're on the road today, but even still, 3 of his last 4 road games, he does have a point. I think it's not always so much him as what his line has been doing. Tom Wilson's been red hot. I think he has goals in 3 of his last 5. Protas has been hot as well. So I mean, it's kind of like a perfect storm with that line. Everybody wants to look at Ovi and what he's done, and Strome's been fantastic this year as well, and McMichael. The list goes on with this team. They've been a damn surprise when it really comes down to this is not a team I don't think any of us were high on coming into the season. And they've kind of proven us wrong at this point, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, that line's been hot. Road, you typically want to kind of look for the second or third line on a road team, just, given the fact that the Sabres will probably put their best defensive line against Ovi's line. So that gives you a little bonus as well. And you're getting him a minus 115. And just given the streak, it's, what he's done recently. I like the price at minus 115. So I'm going to dive in on PLD tonight.
Yeah, I like that look too. It's interesting. A lot of Capitals have pretty impressive history against the Sabres. Like Wilson hitting in each of his last 4 for a point. Ovechkin, I think, as well. But yeah, I like that PLD
Strome
look.
Points against the Sabres.
It's insane. I've seen, in addition to PLD, I've seen a bunch of.
I'm sorry.
That's insane. In addition to PLD, I've seen people on Chychrun as well tonight for a point. He's been pretty solid as of late. He's got some great history against the Sabres. He is a road dog as well. I don't mind that look. Betsky, did you have anything in this one?
Yeah, I mean, that's really the ones that I circled on my list too. 2 people on the Sabres side that I may consider would be Peterka, who has been pretty hot, 8 points in his last 10. I'm sorry, has hit 8 of his last 10 games, 2 multi-point games in there. His point's about minus 105, so you're getting some nice value on that. All right, history against the Capitals. I mean, he's a younger player, so you got to kind of take it for a grain of salt, sand, whatever. But has hit in 3 of his last 7 games against them. I don't know if that's a career 7 games against them either, but so that kind of feels nice if you're going to look for anything on the Sabres side. I mean, Dahlin maybe. Otherwise,
Zucker's.
Yeah, I was going to say, what about
Zucker's? Zucker's kind of the main guy that I'd look for on the Sabres side, if at all. What does he have? 8 points.
Yeah, he's hit 4 in the last 5. He had a Hattie. It's hit 5 of his last 9 games against the Capitals.
Goals in 3 of his last 3 straight against the Caps as well, including and goals in 4 straight overall.
Oh, so he's a little bit of a the Capitals have played Buffalo, by the way. So they played them 12-14. So Ovechkin missed that game. So they're different divisions. So there's potentially only one more game. Yeah, so if Ovi wants to score against every single team this season, which you got to think he's thinking about, right? Imagine breaking the goal record and scoring against every 31 other teams in the league in the same season.
They play them one more time in Washington on March 30th.
No, they'll be sitting Ovi by then because he'll have already hit it and they'll be in the playoffs. So,
yeah, that game's not going to matter. Yeah, I mean, Ovechkin, too, you're getting a pretty good price on his goal tonight, right? Plus 120, I believe, if I'm looking at that correctly. So I don't hate it. Kulik also at that 1.5 mark continues to hit it home. I know he was up around that minus 170, minus 180 price range, and now he's back down to minus 150 tonight. So I don't hate that as a parlay piece.
He's missed twice. I'm off
the whole
Kulik
season
train for a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, twice in a row.
Oh yeah, back to back. You're right.
And
just
his
the
attempts have gone
splits.
Down. I don't hate it, and you wouldn't be wrong, but he destroyed a 1.5 guy parlay I had 2 nights ago, and I said I'm going to stop until I see the attempts go back up.
What about Dahlin?
He's won me a lot of money this season, though, so I can't.
Yes.
Complain.
Yeah, Dahlin hitting his 2.5 mark in 10 of his last 11 home games. Hitting 3 straight against Washington.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I mean, yeah.
I don't hate it.
No, I like PLD. I like Zucker. Chikrin, Point. Those are all kind of the main
fantastic.
guys that I have. So any other in this one before we try to just find props that in this kind of game
that
of
are unnecessary.
meaningless. Yeah.
Did you guys
exactly.
did you guys see the post by shot props earlier today regarding just shots, just regarding shot props in general this season, just feeling like they've been particularly down. So I personally, I'm like not going out of my way to place shot prop bets at this point, just because of how bad they've been. And I was joking with Adam earlier about betting. We were talking about betting unders on shot props, just because I feel like there's more profitability at this point. So that might be something I'm going to look into. But I mean, Washington's not a team I want to fate or go against if I'm taking it over. Let's put it that way.
We're also getting into that point of the season where there's going to be big players resting for the Four Nations / All-Star break. I think teams are starting to get their week-long buys or their bye weeks or whatever they're called.
When's that start?
I feel like it may have already started because I feel like I've seen certain teams haven't played for like a week with holidays in the mix, so they may have like added or incorporated it that way. But also, you're probably going to get a little bit of minute management from coaches on some of the big names. So this is the time of the year to kind of pivot towards unders, like you mentioned, and maybe your lower line guys when they're offered to you. So yeah, I don't hate that. I've still been playing shots on goal props, obviously, but I've been way more into doing 1.5 guy lines and waiting for guys who are typically 3.5 to be down to 2.5 and in good spots. So like Kyrou at home, it's like 80% on the season. I'm not going to not use that for like a parlay piece.
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like we just need to be more selective is all I'm saying. Like
absolutely.
Cooley going against Washington is like a bad matchup. I just don't feel like it's necessary to even go out. You got parlay them anyway, but just I'm just saying. I don't know.
Dahlin one looks all right though. 69% at home on the season. 9 of his last 10 home games, averaging 7.2 shot attempts at home.
Doesn't this feel like the one he's gonna miss though? 9 of his last 10 he's hit, at home. It's just
I mean, just in general, what's your confidence level in any sort of Buffalo Sabres prop?
If it could be
that's
negative,
I think that's where you. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, besides Zucker, I feel like Zucker's been the most consistent guy. It doesn't even make any sense.
Zucker's been the MVP of this team so far this season, no doubt.
It's crazy,
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable that you have to say that. I can't believe that, Gator. God, it's just miserable.
Yeah, dude, this team is.
Sucks. Benson's been good.
If Payne was an NHL team, it would be the Buffalo Sabres. They are so bad.
There's still so much young talent there. It's just so unrealized at this point.
Dude, don't do this. We're not doing there's young talent there. There's been that's been the motto for the past 10 years with this team. We're not going to do that today. Oh my God. Yeah, right.
All right, let's go.
Stupid.
Let's move on.
We spent 15 minutes talking about that miserable team. So
yeah. Try to get me fired up with young talent on the Sabres. Not going to happen today. Vancouver at Montreal. Montreal plus 110. Vancouver minus 130. Total set at 5.5. Minus 120. Betsky, what do you got in this one?
I don't particularly love this game for multiple reasons. Pettersson is out. The trade rumors are bugging flying right now. It's insane. I can't believe that either one of Miller or Elias Pettersson are probably going to be moved at some point here. To 100-point players. The Canucks goaltending issues are still around with injuries and everything. The two pieces, and then on the flip side here, Montreal may have gone on one of the most horrific road trips I've ever seen. Starting this road trip in Florida, winning both of those games, Tampa and against the Ice Cats. I believe one side in one game in 2024 and one in 2025. So they beat one of those teams after partying for New Year's. Flew all the way to Vegas, won. flew all the way back up to Chicago, lost, went back down to Colorado, won, and now are back in Montreal. You think those guys are wanting to say, hey, maybe let's take the night off? I know athletes don't do that, but between flu bugs going around, Patrick Laine's sick, who knows who else? I'm not touching a single Montreal prop here. I love Vancouver money line, even with the subtractions right now of Elias Pettersson. You're getting value on it because of that. Oh, hello, clean hits. Oh, jeez. We got the insider info coming out.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you guys have Jesus, you guys have got some connections over there too. If you got that sort of inside info, I like it.
But so the one prop I have circled is Jake DeBrusk point. Top line with Miller, who broke Elias Pettersson's back from the Clean Hits Utah fan podcast for Skeet Heatley. He's still got that Boston Bruins in him. There's no way he just goes into Montreal and goes, oh, I don't care about showing up against Montreal anymore. You know, he played his entire career up until the season as a Bruin. There's no way he just is like, I'm done with hating the Canadians. He has a point in 8 of the last 10 games against Montreal, has not played them this season on a top line with Vancouver. You're getting his point as minus 125 right now. If you think that Vancouver is going to win and they can't get any production from that top line, especially with Quinn Hughes out, I mean, if you're taking a Miller point, I don't know why you want to just get the value out of Jake DeBrusk here. So that's my favorite prop from the Vancouver side and in this game, and one of my favorite props of the night. The only other one here I have circled is Connor Garland, who played in the QMJHL and junior hockey, so kind of played in that Montreal, Quebec area. Again, without Elias Pettersson, that line looks a lot weaker, but that also allows him to play on the top power play unit. He has a point in 4 of his last 6 games against Montreal, including a multi-point game. So you could even maybe consider his shots, but I don't know. Looks a little bit riskier.
I like that DeBrusk point a lot, though. The more you look at it.
Yeah, I can't believe it's minus 125.
I mean, Franco, any looks for you in this one?
Yeah, I locked in Canucks money line earlier today at minus 125. I think it's minus 130 across the board now. Not that big of a change. I'm expecting Hughes to be back tonight. Even if he isn't, I still like it. But I think if he gets announced in, I know he's day to day. I think that moves even more to like a minus 140 range, just given how big of an impact he is. You have Tyler Myers playing on the top power play unit right now, so it's kind of silly. But
I saw Bet365 responded to you the other day too, saying Tyler Meyer props were added to the site.
Yeah, we'll see. I actually didn't check that today. I wonder if they're still there. But yeah, I think this is a great spot. This is like spot wise, this is great. So Canucks are going back on the road. They haven't been good recently, right? But they've been so much better on the road this season compared to at home. So they hold an 11-4-2 record on the road. The last 10 games against Montreal, they're 7-3, which adds to it. And like Betsky said, I mean, the Montreal's coming off that road trip, right? They went 4-2, I believe, beat some very good teams, kept competitive. They're feeling good. They're back home. This is the night to take off, right? So I just don't expect to see them have the legs, and no line A is just like a bonus as well. So yeah, give me that minus 125. I love that price for Vancouver just to win this game. I don't mind the DeBrusk point prop looks pretty good. I would look at Besser for a goal. I know he's not been as good on the road, but he's just been heating up in general. Goals in 3 of his last 5, including 4 total goals in that stretch. I'm just not that. I could see Montreal just laying an egg here, so I don't really want to look for Montreal props.
I like that. Yeah, no, I mean, you can still get minus 125 right now on BetMGM. I think those are the best odds that are currently available for Vancouver DK and Caesars have it at -130, and FanDuel has it at -128. So I like Vancouver money line and that DeBrusque prop. Are you echoing Franco's statement here of just staying away from any sort of Canadians props tonight?
Yeah, absolutely.
That sounds good. All right, next game up, we have the best one, I think. Florida at Colorado. Colorado -125. Florida +105. Total set at 6.5. +105 to the over. Franco, I'll let you start us off in this one. Any looks for you?
Well, I was talking about these unders. The first one that popped right here was McKinnon under. There's no way in hell I'm taking it just because I can't.
Yeah,
it's McKinnon, right? But
I was gonna say that's a hell of a guy to pick for your first under.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing it. I'm just saying the data is there, right? So like you look at his chart, he's not been like the same guy this year, right? He's not the guy 7, 8, 9 shots in a game. The attempts are still there, obviously, but just given the matchup, what Florida's been doing, if you wanted to take an under, that might be one to look at. Like I said, I'm probably not going to get there. It's scary, but I can see that situation where this game finishes where he has like 2 or 3 shots, and but the same breath, McKinnon's not always a 3.5 guy either. He's a guy that's normally can be up at that 4.5 range, so it gets a little scary there. I'm kind of lukewarm on this game in general. I don't really have too much of a side or total here. I don't think I could see it maybe an under, just given what we've seen from Blackwood. He's been good so far. Yep. I still have my reservations there, as you guys know, but Florida's been pretty bad offensively too. I mean, I think if anything, I would take Blackwood under 2.5 goals allowed. I saw that as a prop that kind of stood out. He hasn't allowed more than 2 goals yet since he's come over from San Jose. Colorado's at home. They're going to want to, kind of. I think they're going to want to play better sound defense after that game against Buffalo that just kind of got out of hand. So
yeah, but then they only allowed 2 goals against Montreal, one being in a shootout.
Yeah, that's true.
Which goes into why I'm very concerned about this game too, because everything we were just saying about Montreal and the crazy road trip, you would have thought by the time they got to Colorado, they were going to be dead tired. And a lot of the guys at Colorado had great history against Montreal, and they laid a goose egg. So makes me a little concerned about the health of Colorado if they're all dealing with something. I don't know if they just got goalied. Dobbs has been unbelievable for Montreal, and there's very little tape on him because he doesn't have many starts. But I mean that was a very surprising game the way it played out. And Colorado didn't ever really look like they were pushing too much. So you got a Florida team who's not scoring much lately, has been kind of up and down in the win column, going on the road, maybe trying to get it right. Maybe they're going to just play a really tight shutdown game. Maybe the Avs aren't going to be looking to push it too much either if they're not feeling the best. I dug around here, and I don't feel very confident about many props. There are 2, though.
Florida is also has a nice little stretch of downtime. Their next game's not till the 11th after this one. So maybe this is kind of their last ditch effort here. And then they're off for a while. Florida. What?
That's nuts. So they're flying all the way out to. No, they play
Colorado
Utah
for this one game,
8th.
And then they're off for the next.
They play Utah on the 8th.
Really? Then Covers is wrong because it says the next game here is January 11th at Boston.
And 11th is in Florida.
Interesting. Your 2 props in this one?
Yeah. So
is that what you said?
There's a revenge.
Is one of them Kachuk shots?
Nope.
Is it Rodriguez? Rodriguez is a revenge angle.
There you go.
Yeah,
but he's not been vengeful this year, man. Like he lost it. He lost it.
He got it against Pitt.
He has two shots. He got against.
He didn't against the Sabres though.
2.5. But I'll happily. He had 5 shot attempts that game too. By the way,
Yeah,
He's trying.
I know. He had a bunch of misses. I remember watching.
Yep. And he missed last time he's played Colorado, which wasn't. Oh, it was back in November. But that would be one I would consider. Looks like it's minus 135 ish. There's a couple 1.5s from this next game coming up that you could kind of smash it with if you would like. The other one that I actually like to chuck shots do look good. This is kind of strictly on historical data, though. Barkov shots against Colorado looks very nice. He has hit in 5 of the last 6, averaging 6 shot attempts when he plays Colorado. That is not how he plays normally. He's 4.6 average shot attempts on the entire season. Previous seasons, he's been better away than he is on the road. Unfortunately, this year, he is better at home. I just said away and up the road last time. I meant he's typically better away than at home. This season, it did flip. He's better at home than away, but this could be a big game for Florida to kind of get things right. So maybe they're going to lean into Captain Barkey there.
Yeah, I mean, Kachuk has hit what in each of his last 5 against Vancouver or Florida or Colorado?
Yep,
Jesus.
But Barkov is plus 126 for 3 shots, where Matty minus 154.
Minus 150. Yep.
But yeah, that
any other plays
against Colorado looks great too.
Yeah.
So the straight, I like Barkov shots if you want to go for big plus money on a single play. That's not like a goal. Again, it is kind of blindly going into the historical context and kind of where the team's at, even though I don't think they're playing all that great lately. The Chuck one has a better, stronger historical context, and he's typically just a little bit more of a heavy volume shooter compared to Barkov. But
I like it. Any other plays for you, Franco, in this one?
The only other thing I would consider is Drouin point. It's bettable this game, which it hasn't really been. I think he was like minus 180 or something.
Yeah,
the last
Montreal.
time against Montreal. So minus 138, not super great, but decent, I guess. Decent history against them. Hitting in 5 of his last 7 and hitting in 7 of his last 10 overall, which really is 5 of his last 6. So he's been productive. So I would only really look for points and stuff at the Colorado side. I'm not very interested in Florida point props. So I'd be looking at Drouin. I don't mind. I've seen a couple of people on McCarr goal. I believe he's 1 away from 100. So I don't mind looking there as well if you want a little bit of value. But yeah, that's it for me here.
So if you're looking at all Colorado props here, are you taking Colorado money line then or no?
That would be where I would lean. I mean, I think getting them at minus 125 doesn't feel too bad. I have a little bit of pause because kind of what Betsky said about them just looking flat that last game. But yeah, I just don't have interest in Florida given how bad they've been. And the thing that gives me pause too still with that is like their last 3 games on the road, at least they've been productive. 4 goals against Tampa, 6 goals against the Wild, and then 6 against the Oilers. But before that, they got shut out in 2 straight. So on the road. So I don't know what to make of Florida right now. Are they just off, or like what is wrong with them? So like to me, they're just a non-entity in this game. Either I'm taking a team total under, or like I said, that Blackwood goals against under. But I don't have really any interest in Florida props at all. So I'd be looking at Drouin point, maybe a team total for Colorado or something, maybe the under. I don't know. I'm kind of like all over the place. So when it's like that, I just feel like you just don't take anything and you move on,
There's a good chance this is going to be the most entertaining game tonight, but there's this weird 25% chance this could be a 2-1 game and just an absolute stinker.
I could see it being like a 3-1 game or 3-2 game, and still you're not feeling great if you have player props or any kind of over bets when that's the kind of score you're seeing. So.
And the hard part is I could see it being 3-1 on either side. I could see Colorado maybe last game was the beginning of their kind of slump and they aren't feeling well or something, and Florida's getting out of it, or that game against Montreal was just getting goal lead and they're right back to being able to score 5 and Florida puts up 1.
I mean overs have not been great this year, especially recently. It's felt like I feel like there's been a lot of like 2-1, 3-1, 3-2 type games recently, and I mean I feel like I'm just talking myself into the under here. Getting 6.5 minus 125 is not not bad, you know.
But why?
But yeah, it's scary because
yeah,
you know what these offenses are capable of at any point in time. I mean, Reinhardt's been non-existent. When does he break out of that? You know, Kachuk hasn't been as good either, like as a goal scorer. So there's so much talent on both sides. It could happen any night. You really want to be on that side, that under. It's kind of scary.
All right, last game of the night. Devils at Seattle. Seattle plus 200. New Jersey minus 245. Total set at 5.5. Minus 135 to the over. Betsky. You mentioned a bunch of guys at that 1.5 mark. In this game, I'm guessing Beniers is one of them.
Beniers is my favorite here. Minus 130. You're actually getting a really nice price. Both him and Rodriguez. You could take as straights if you want. Staple them together. You're probably getting about what, plus 250-ish. Kako being on his line has been huge. If you've been able to watch any of the games, that top line is actually playing a little bit like a good second line. I wasn't going to say top line, but they look a little dangerous. They can create offense now. I love the addition for Kako for them. I think that is a nice high-end skilled piece that still plays a solid two-way game that can really kind of mesh well with a guy like Beniers. Their skill sets are kind of similar, but sometimes stacking those types of skill sets work. And I think you're starting to see that with the way Beniers is starting to rip pucks. So he's hit 5 straights for shots on goal at 1.5. He's been averaging 5.8 shot attempts per game. I kind of feel like this isn't something that's going to slow down. On top of it, he's got fantastic history against New Jersey, hitting in 5 of the last 8 and averaging 4.8 shot attempts when he plays against them. I had to look it up to see where he went to college to see if maybe he went in the Jersey area. He went to Harvard, but that means he was probably playing puck around the Northeast quite a bit.
Great.
And what Devils took Luke Hughes at 3 that draft year. So when Beniers, McTavish at 2 and Luke Hughes at 3, or McTavish at 3 and Luke Hughes at 2. So there's always that chance too that the Devils were actually talking to Beniers around the draft and then didn't move up to get him or something like that. And Beniers is a little pissed off about that.
I mean, he's hitting 4 straight against him.
I know.
Franco, any plays for you in this one? I like the Beniers shots on goal. I mean, that's just incredible value you're getting at minus 130 tonight. But you also look at the other guy at that 1.5 mark, Vince Dunn, who's minus 170.
Real quickly, too, Beniers was 2nd overall. Do you remember who was 1st overall in the 2021 NHL draft? It's one of the teams we talked about. That
my brain's not working today.
Sabres?
Yeah.
My brain's
Power. Really living up to that 1st overall pick status.
Young talent.
We're not doing this today. I told you we're not doing this.
Young talent, just like you said, Franco.
Oh god.
All right, thanks for watching, everyone. Yep, great stream. Yep, we'll see you guys Wednesday.
All right. So the guy I was between PLD and this guy as far as my kind of like props that cash player to focus on today. So Vince Dunn point is where I'm looking here. Mm-hmm. He's kind of turned it on recently. It's been not his usual standard of consistency this year, I would say overall. But yeah, the last 4 of his last 5 he's hit a point, including a couple of multi-point games, one with 3. He's been actually scoring goals as well. 3 goals in his last 4 games. So he's firing the puck, like you guys said. So that shot prop probably isn't a bad parlay piece. I just don't love targeting Jersey. They're not the most, one of the better teams to target for shots on goal, I'd say. But that Beniers price does look good. But yeah, getting Vince Dunn point at plus money feels like pretty ridiculous. I know you could go with an assist if you want to get a little bit better value. But like I said, he's been scoring goals. So I think you just stay with this point prop. Seattle's been better offensively, and this game feels like one of those games where Jersey hasn't gotten it right on this trip. This is the last game. I know they have one more road game, but it's against the Rangers. So really that's like a return home type of game, type of situation. This is the last game on the West Coast. Losing to Anaheim, losing to the Sharks is pretty brutal. So I don't know. Do they fix it this game, or is this something where it's like it's just not right now, and we should be taking Seattle here? So I definitely lean Seattle as far as the price goes. You're getting them at like plus 200 on the money line. You can maybe even take the puck line at minus 120 for plus 1.5. But yeah, I mean, I'm not interested in Jersey right now with how they're playing. They're not scoring. I get it. Grubauer's been brutal. Maybe this is the get right spot, but I'm not stepping. I'm not putting my money on Jersey with the way they're playing. Let's put it that way.
That's fair. All right. You guys want to put together a parlay here? Only 4 games, but I think there is some angles that we can approach. Betsky, I'm assuming Beniers at 1.5 is going to be your pick, or
I prefer that over Erod, so that's fine by me.
Yep. All right, perfect. Franco, did you have a play that you were high on tonight?
Let's I'm trying to decide if I want to do a point prop or do
I don't mind Vancouver money line.
Yeah, but I'm already heavy on it. I kind of want to let's do let's do Strome point.
Okay. Strome point minus 175, and then you're going to go Beniers 1.5 shots on goal. And then are you guys good with Vancouver money line, or did you have another play that you wanted to add instead? Do you want to do the DeBrusk point?
No, he said he was. Which one? DeBrusk point.
DeBrusk point,
or Garland point for some reason is minus 145.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Being that juiced compared to Besser is minus 150. You would think Garland should be like minus 110. I don't mind that. I think Vancouver gets like 3 or 4 here tonight, to be honest.
So Strome point, Beniers 2 shots on goal, DeBrusk point, that's plus 392 on DraftKings tonight.
DeBrusk or Garland?
What was your final call? Did you want to do Garland at minus 140? Or DeBrusk at minus 125?
DeBrusk at 125 is really suspect considering Miller is at minus 190. And I mean, I would do Miller point if you want to just play it safe here.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, Strome point, Miller point, Beniers 2. That's plus 321. I don't mind that at all.
Yeah.
Or Garland at minus 140, but I'm fine with Miller.
Yeah, let's just play it. Let's hit this. Let's play it safe, right?
We say that as Garland and DeBrusk get on the board, and Miller doesn't. Like that's what's going to happen.
Always how it works, man.
Yeah, maybe even a round robin with Miller, DeBrusk, and Garland tonight.
There you go.
2 get on the board, you make a profit.
For goals.
That would be good. That'd be interesting.
I did that for points. It's like, I'm not going to put
$100 on the Vancouver point
minus 2
round robin turn. Yeah, right.
190 point.
Yep. Mm-hmm. All right. So the parlay will be posted in about 5 minutes after we sign up. Make sure to use DraftKings for that promo code THPN. $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Also, if you're going to any game soon, be sure to check out Game Time, promo code THPN, $20 off your first purchase. Just some incredible value there. Thank you again to the Hockey Podcast Network as well for sponsoring our show. Any last thoughts before we wrap up and come back Wednesday?
No, get better, Gator. All right. Just don't watch the Sabres game.
Lay off the sauce for 2 days. Exactly. Maybe that's the thing tonight is that I'll watch any other game besides the Sabres, and that may make me feel better. So I think that could be the remedy for tonight. All right. Well, we want to thank
Florida games 1-2, and none of the props hit, and
Can't go to sleep. Have to watch New Jersey, Seattle. You know, like
just and hoping
that will be
Maddie
the bonanza.
Maddie has one shot in the first 5 minutes of the game, and then just duds out.
3 misses. Yeah, 2 blocks. Yeah, and then
like
we're just
2 a.m. your time.
Yeah,
Jersey's
Jesus,
just skating around doing nothing.
The Tuesday scaries would be real at that point. Then, if
gross.
it comes down to Beniers and that happens. All right. Well, we want to thank everyone for watching today's show. We will be back Wednesday, as I said. Thank you again to Game Time and DraftKings, and hopefully everyone hits all their bets tonight.